Welcome back to another edition of Fly Tying for Beginners. Today we're going to tie a Fire Tiger popper. The hook I have in the vise is a number 2 popper hook. It has the kink on there, and that helps to hold the popper, keep it from rotating. We're going to start with the popper head, and I have a 1/2 inch foam cylinder, and this is Rainey's. You get Rainey's foam cylinders. And first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut an angle on it. And there it is. And then I hold it to the hook to see how far or how long I want that. And I have a red mark on there. You can see a mark there. And that will help us in determining where I put the tail and feathers. But we take this popper and we start out with a bodkin needle. I put the bodkin needle through the middle and it come out the back, and then you take an awl and you put it in, start it in the back because the awl is tapered and you want the smaller hole in the front. And we put that through, and that makes a nice channel for the hook and also the material that's going to go inside there. So what we're going to do, I put it on there, and I have it just about in the middle. You can see it when I put it on, and we're going to just have the eye of the hook sticking out the front. But you can see here there's a lot of gap. We took up a lot of gap, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the bottom off flat. I'm just going to have that there. I'm going to take my razor blade and I'm going to cut this just above the hook shank. A nice sharp razor blade. And just cut that right there. There we go. Now we have a nice wide gap, and the hook shank, you can actually see it through the light there, but that's plenty deep in there. I'm going to take that back off. We're going to tie our tail on. I'm just going to use a yellow thread, and this is wax thread. This is pretty big. This is like 6/0. I'm going to start that thread base. So we need a thread base on this whole section here. So we're going to go up just before the eye. And we're going to put a nice thread base on the entire hook shank. Just go back and forth like twice on it. Go down. I'm going to get rid of that excess. And I'm going to cover up this back section with a second. And that way when we put the glue on and then put the popper on, it has something to hold to. We're going to bring that thread down to the red spot, to my mark on there. I don't know if you can see it, but there's the mark on there. Now I have a pair of orange and a pair of yellow Hackle, and I'm going to take one orange and one yellow. I'm going to line them up, and we're going to make them about 1 1/4 to 1 1/2 the length of the hook shank. I'm going to go ahead and pull those back, and I'm going to give this the crew cut. And I'm going to do the same with the others. Take that first set of legs, we're going to tie them in, and we're going to use the natural curve to suit the popper. We're going to put them right on the side, Secure them good. Then I take the second set, and we're going to tie them in on the other side. We have a nice divided pair of legs there. Now I'm going to take a third set of orange and yellow hackle. I'm going to tie these in by the tip. I'm going to wrap them up, and this is going to give even more material for the popper and the glue to grab to. Going to bring them back, and we're going to wrap them. Then we're going to bring them up until I hit the soft material. Then I'm going to tie them in. Go ahead and trim away that excess. Can secure that. Don't worry about a couple of strays because the popper will push them back. We'll take our whip finish and give that several wraps like with the whip finish. Going to trim that off. Now I'm going to take my head cement and I'm going to coat the hook shank with my head cement. If you use super glue, that's fine. Just make sure that it's lined up properly before you let it set. We have that covered with the head cement. I'm going to take the popper head. I'm going to push that on there. And I want to make that the eye stick out. And now make sure that it is lined up. Make sure that it's on there level. Right there. It's all lined up on their level. Now I'm going to take a set of eyes, and these are just sticker eyes. And we're going to place them on the popper head. I'm going to put them up close to the plow. Take the second one, make sure you put it on in the same, if they have that pupil there, make sure that they're going the same direction. You can just squeeze them on for the moment. Now we're going to take Fire Tiger skirts, and here is my leg threader. This is a large needle. You put a piece of tippet material through there, you make a loop with it, and then you simply cover it over with super glue. Just glue it into place with super glue. I used my UV cure on this. Going to find the position I want to put the legs in. Put them, you have to remember there's a hump in there. You want to put them in back of that hump, and it has to be above the hook shank. So poke it through there. Make sure that it's going through straight. I'm going to back that out, get that a little bit higher. We're going to run that through. Remember, you got this big loop here. I'm going to take my legs, going to put them in that loop, and then once they get in there tight, I'm going to pull them a little bit, not too hard, but that will make them a little thinner, and that will help pull them through. And if we take this and pull them and pull, those legs are going to come right through for us. And then you can pull them to make them even. Now, because these are so long, I'm going to cut off a little bit of the fire part. Now I'm going to take my Deer Creek Diamond Fine UV resin. I'm going to cover those eyes. Take your bodkin needle and move that resin around. You could actually take that and kind of coat the whole top of it with it. Take the resin from that side. Now I'm going to take my UV light and cure that. Go all the way around. I'm going to take a marker, put a couple of tiger stripes on there. You could even put a couple of stripes across the bottom if you'd like. Just kind of connect them. Another thing you could do is paint the face. And here we have a Fire Tiger popper. Hope that you learned something from this video. Hope you would subscribe to my channel. Please refer me to your friends, leave comments, questions, suggestions, and most of all, thank you very much for watching my videos.